Imagine being so delusional and out of touch with reality that when stores get robbed multiple times by a certain demographic of people, and as a result wind up having to close down because they're losing money, which is, of course, the whole reason that they're there. They're not a nonprofit organization. That rather than blaming the criminals for causing the store to shut down because of the rampant theft, you instead blame racism. The moronic leftard Democrat Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley had this to say recently about Walgreens having to close down so many stores.
Walgreens is planning to close yet another pharmacy in the Massachusetts 7th, this time on Warren Street in Roxbury, a community that is 85% Black and Latino. This closure is a part of a larger trend of abandoning low-income communities like the previous closures in Mattapan and Hyde Park, both in the Massachusetts 7th. When a Walgreens leaves a neighborhood, they disrupt the entire community, and they take with them baby formula, diapers, asthma inhalers, life-saving medications, and of course, jobs. These closures are not arbitrary, and they are not innocent. They are life-threatening acts of racial and economic discrimination. That is why I joined with Senator Markey and Warren to demand answers from Walgreens CEO.
So you see, it's because Walgreens is racist. You just can't make this shit up. It's like logic and common sense just literally pass right through the noggins of these people. It's unbelievable. When in all actuality, in pure simple fact, this is the reason that not only Walgreens, but so many businesses across this country, primarily in blue cities, mind you, is shutting their doors.
Some stores are locking up everything from coffee to frozen food to try to combat theft. Our Kyung La visited one Walgreens that's hit by shoplifters more than a dozen times a day. It happened 3 times while she was inside.
Richie Greenberg walked into a San Francisco Walgreens when he saw in the frozen food section this.
Chains, heavy chains that went from padlock to padlock on both sides of the doors, and this was bizarre, something I'd never seen before. This is just more icing on the cake, telling us that rampant crime has become a regular part of life.
So typical that in the 30 minutes we were at this Walgreens, we watched 3 people, including this man, steal.
Did that guy pay? Did that guy pay? He didn't pay.
Walgreens says this Richmond neighborhood store with aisles of products like mustard locked behind plexiglass has the highest theft rate of all their nearly 9,000 U.S. stores, hit more than a dozen times a day. When thieves turned to cleaning out ice cream and frozen burritos, workers grew so frustrated they resorted to the chains.
A hooded masked thief was behind the counter rifling through the shelves and filling a bag with stuff while employees called police. Before the shoplifter leaves, a food fight breaks out. The suspect starts throwing bananas at a customer who fired back, and then the suspect grabbed some snacks and threw them back before walking out.
Here's a quote to a local news affiliate. Walgreens is testing a new experience at this store with new concepts, technologies, and practices to enhance the experiences of our customers and team members. It will continue to offer retail products and pharmacy services just with a new look and feel that focuses on shopping digitally for convenience. Well, even though Walgreens didn't mention anything about the theft problems in that statement, the chain is one of many dealing with a big uptick in shoplifting. Even security guards who try to intervene and stop criminals like this one in New York City are getting arrested themselves.
Empty shelves at this Walgreens drugstore, and it's not because of pandemic-related panic shopping. Now the store is closing due to what local reports are calling a spree of rampant shoplifting. And look at this, just 15 minutes after an Inside Edition crew showed up at the drugstore, we found this guy jumping over the front counter, taking an airbed, and leaving the store on his scooter. No questions asked, no one stopping him.
So, as you can see, nothing to do with racism. Everything to do with a store continuously being robbed by certain types of people. And if a community doesn't want the only pharmacy in their area to close, it would probably be pertinent on the good people of that community to be a little more proactive in stopping the lesser people of their community from robbing those stores so that the stores don't shut down. Seems logical to me, but certain people in government would rather you think that it's because the company is racist. Yeah. Like I said, you just can't make this shit up. Now, of course, if it were up to the left-hard Democrats, if they had their way, similar to like what Ayanna Pressley was mentioning in her address to Congress there, it seems like they would rather, I don't know, use a legislation or some type of enforcement to force Walgreens to remain there. Imagine, again, living in a neighborhood where you are constantly being broken into by other people in that neighborhood and want to leave the neighborhood because, you know, you're tired of your shit being stolen. And of course, you're worried for the safety and security of yourself and your loved ones who live in that house. And then the government steps in and says, no, we're going to force you to keep living in that neighborhood. That's what the Democrats would like to do. So if you want to stop all this, best thing you can do, other than, of course, getting local and being more proactive in your community and working with law enforcement and, you know, stopping criminal activity when you see it happening in front of you. As a citizen, you know, you do have arrest powers. It's called citizen's arrest, just so you know. Other than doing that, might want to stop voting for Democrats. Just saying. Remember, if you're not left, you're right.